Let's do what we always do. We'll go around and get a temperature check on, how it's going for you this sprint, this week, actually, not the sprint, this week, and anything you want to share about our community. And one of the the retrospective actions we're taking into this sprint is everyone should post once in the forum. So I'm going to check in. So after you answer how the community is going, just answer if you've been able to post in the forum yet or not. And I will pass to Nate to get us started.
I have not posted to the forum yet. I've replied, but I have not created an original post, which I'm eager to do. But as far as the community temperature check is concerned, I think everything's really clicking. I really enjoy all the work that people are doing in their various working groups and engaging with others. I think it's going really great. I will pass it to YGG.
Hey everyone. I think this is just a temperature check. So I've been having good interactions. I don't think I've been on like a general working group call this week, but I've had a few one-on-one calls, which have gone really well. So it kind of, I guess I've had limited signal from the community, but the signal that I have had has been really good. Just like making direct progress on things, and just overall good. People seem to be in good spirits from what I've seen. So I'll pass over to Katie.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, YDG. Sorry, I have a bite of dinner in my mouth. All's well. Just had a sync with Chewy, and we need your forum posts. So woohoo! Looking forward to that, so we can incorporate them into the weekly update. So things are going well. I will pass to Eduardo.
Thank you, Katie. Temperature check. I think in my case it's mixed, because I have done a little bit of a dive into the praise classification. So I have a mix of feeling from, like, I have an impression from reading so many praises that it gets confused with reality at some point. So I don't know. I feel things has reached a point of a certain stability, and I think it's really nice that we have this moment before hatching, that we are not running or going behind stuff. At least I don't feel rush, and I think it's a luxury to not feel rushed in this kind of environments before our launch. So I really like this, and I have not done the forum post, and I will do so. So I will pass it on to Livy.
Thanks, Edu. Sorry, I'm cooking. Temperature check. I think, yeah, I feel like we're navigating like exciting waters. And they're big waves sometimes, and some are more chill, but I feel like we're passing through some big waves this week. And it's interesting to hear everyone's opinions on especially the praise thing, and I would love to get more inputs there. I really like summoning the community now to give advice to the multiple topics we're proposing to have discussions. And that ties into, yes, I did do a forum post, and I would love people participating there, and I tagged a few of you for inputs. And I will pass to Chewy.
Yep, thank you, Luke. Temperature check. Yeah, it's super hot. There is a lot of stuff, of positive stuff going around the praise quant, and also we're just like going really really fast. Sometimes like I feel that like even fast, like it's hard to like catch up, but that's good. That's good. I feel that everyone is very motivated, and yeah, it makes me happy for the community. I pass it to YGG.
I'll pass over to Santi.
Thank you, YGG. Thank you, Chui. I feel like we are on the calm waters before the hot storm comes, and I can wait for that to come. That's how I feel. It's a little slow now, and I want some action. I haven't done the forum post. I will do it probably today or tomorrow morning. And that's it. Legally, it's pretty calm. We are not having this week. Engaging a little bit more with SourceCred, getting in touch with the people of SourceCred and with Santiago to see if he can help us a little bit with some demands that we have. And for the rest, everything's fine. I'll pass it to Zepti.
Thank you, Santi. Yeah, the temperature check is going pretty good. I actually on board Heater like 2 days ago, Tuesday, yesterday. And yeah, he's also going to get like the recordings for their working group. And I think it's also like, it's going to be wild. Like when there is a lot of working groups, like on transparency, we really need to step ahead and prepare for that. Like when there is a lot of working groups, and you know, like if we want to keep following this process we're following, we really need to make sure like the processes are clear. Yeah, but it's cool. Like he's helping and he's engaging with the YouTube. So yeah, that's awesome. And I also put a forum post, and yeah, and it's going. We are having some discussion there, and it would be awesome. Like for all of the people who still need to post, get some engagement there. It's like about the credentials management, and yeah, and also actually like Semi is building an app to help us. Like there was a bit of discussion in this thread, like being like jump. A platform like for customer users, not that as a enterprise. So yeah, also actually like Sem is trying to build something for the, you know, like to get this thing managed as a DAO, and I think it's super cool. But yeah, it's still work in progress. So yeah, and I'll pass it to Juan Carlos.
Thanks, Septi. Well, my inner temperature is really cold because I am not used to cold, and like Cusco is really cold, but I am happy to get to know other places, and I want to recharge going to sacred and energized places, and like I will make like an offer on Machu Picchu so that all our projects hopefully get to where we want them to go. And I feel happy to sing and to see you all. I have been a little bit off from the community, but I like what I see, and I think that the discussion about the analysis is one of the main topics that we should be also taking care of, and I want to help on that. And I feel also good that I coordinated with Durgadas and with Didan for the Gravity working group calls of tomorrow and next week. So yeah, that's my temperature check. And I will pass to Jess.
Oh, hey, that's beautiful, Juan. Thanks for sharing. That's so cool. I didn't know you were there. Awesome. Yeah, I just got back from 2 days off, which was nearly impossible feat to take 2 days off. I just wanted to join and hear what's going on and catch up. I was just looking at the forum post from Livy and trying to figure out next steps for that to support and coordinating and engaging in the dialogue. And yeah, I feel great after going in the forest and doing some hiking here. It was beautiful. And yeah, temperature check. I think, yeah, just moving this discussion along about the praise system, but I guess across the space, and I shared this with Common Stack team, but I think it'd be great for everyone here to hear is, now that I've been kind of away from the community a little bit, running around in the ecosystem and, for example, supporting Gitcoin's decentralization and DAO, they're all looking over here as an example of to do and taking a lot of the patterns and things that have been started here. So I just wanted to share, in case you haven't heard, there's a big recognition of thought leadership. So I wanted to share that as well, that everyone should feel really great about what's been created here so far. So with that, I will pass it to Santi.
Thank you, Jess. Already went. I think Turkadas is the only one missing on Griff. Sorry.
I just like to pop in and listen. It helps me contextualize things. My temperature check is, yeah, things are going really well. What's happening is more and more people are starting to try out the virtuous cycle stuff to avoid burnout and to harness their workaholism into something resembling treating themselves like a human being. And so Sebnem did a whole Medium post on it, and that was quite beautifully said. And so now I've got a total of 5 people full time working on this in this space. So that's really neat. And thanks YGG for cluing me in that it's a good idea to invest in that. So that's it.
Yeah, I can. So, I'm gonna snag it. I don't know what you said though, Tim. I think you're passing it to me. Yeah, temperature check is good. We moved the params call to a more Europe-friendly time, and didn't really promote it. I guess in the community call, I kind of promoted it, and then like the call was full. I mean, it was stacked. There were so many people jumping in, just curious to listen in on what we're talking about, and it's. You know, I really love that magic with Discord, this like access, this free open participation, like, oh, here's a call, I'm just gonna join. And I was blown away. I mean, literally, you know, it was just really supposed to be me, Marco, Lauren, Mitch, and Vitor chatting, hanging out. And then I think a whole nother, like maybe up to a dozen people ended up in the call. Like, wow. And it's new time, new everything. So it's just like the temperature is good. People are they're interested. People are really just curious of what's going on here. I don't even know that we're doing a great job of explaining. It's not like I'm telling people, hey, we're building this Commons dashboard in this params call. No one knows what we're doing in the params call. They're just like, oh, I want to see. And this, I feel like we've cultivated it's almost like the mystery of it too. I might even add to it, right? That's like, but that being said, it's really hard. We're very good at video. I feel like we could do better disseminating information so that people don't have to come to the calls to know what's going on too. And I know that's in the works too. Anyway, that's my update. There's a lot of good intrinsic motivation. I'll pass it back to you, Tim.
And I see that Craig is on. Craig, you want to give your temperature check on the community and answer the question is, have you posted on the forum this week or this sprint?
Hi, thanks, Tim. Yeah, things like Griff was just saying, and I missed everybody else, but things seem to be going well, and there's a lot of interest continuing to build. And have I posted on the forum? I may have tapped a few likes, but I don't know if I've written any words. Yeah, back to you, Tim.
Cool. And Escanor, oh, he's gone. Oh, he was here, but he's gone now. Okay, so then I guess I'll go last. So doing this, Eduardo and I really made a huge concerted effort to just basically to reach out to every single person that had 4 or more impact hours. We made it down to 4, which was our goal. And so I've been a lot of communications with people who are around, but not deep in TEC. And I'll reiterate what Griff said, people are really excited and want to know more. And it's been really positive feedback. I've had more than one person reach out to me just to try to lock down the hatch day. So when is the hatch? When is it happening? One person even said, okay, so as soon as it opens, let me know, okay? And I thought that was really a nice show of excitement for the TEC hatch. And I'd say around the conversations of impact hours, I feel like sometimes you feel personally like you have some cognitive dissonance that you're holding. I feel like in this case, it's sort of like as a community, we're holding some cognitive dissonance. You know, we're united, but we have very different and differing opinions about outcomes. And so I'm just aware that that continues as you would expect it to. All right, so I want to find out how many of us are going to ethCC. So how many of us are going to Paris next month? And if you are, can you just drop your name here in this list? Jump in the agenda and drop your name. And that way we'll sort of take count of how many of us will be there and hopefully encourage people that are on the fence about whether or not they should go to come too. And then
sorry, I can't add could somebody add me? Could you add me, Tam? Thanks.
Sure. Yeah. So in Hatcher, there was a discussion that Eduardo raised. Somebody asked him if he could transfer his impact hours to another person. So in effect, donating or delegating. And it happened to have come up in the Hatcher outreach session we had just before this. And there was some discussion around it. It seems that the end of the conversation or summary of the conversation was that the impact hours are really assigned specifically to unique people and that they can't be donated or delegated because then we wouldn't, the person who's receiving them isn't the person who has earned them, so they shouldn't be able to be donated or delegated. I just wanted, since we brought it up in the Stewards channel, just to sort of to raise it here before we close it, basically, and see if there's anyone that wants to share a different point of view or argue that they should be able possibly to be donated or delegated to another individual.
I don't know if I have a strong opinion about it, but I don't really see why not. Like, I feel like if it's coming from the person themselves, like having that question, and it also introduces a little bit of the delegation that we will have happening because of disputable voting. I don't know. It sounded interesting to me.
This might be a strong word, but to me it sounds like it's potentially a little bit dangerous because it would be giving, as what you just said, like power to someone who potentially may not be someone who's part of the, I mean, I guess they'd have to be part of the community, but it sounds like it could create potential manipulations that we at this moment cannot quite envision.
I just want to bring up a larger issue too of scope creep. Like, we froze the Hatch Smart contracts a long time ago. Can we freeze the cultural ideas as well and just launch this thing? Because like, there's lots of ideas that we could implement. But if we keep making changes or ideas of like, because that would delay the hatch. For instance, hey, okay, so let's say that we take on this idea of like, oh yeah, guess what, everyone, you can delegate your impact hours. Okay, let's spend the time actually communicating that new idea to everyone. Let's make sure, oh, hey, who do you want to delegate it to? Okay, let's tweak this on the spreadsheet. Okay, now, do we get it all right before we freeze the hatch? It's like, we just need to stop doing stuff. Like, no new things. No new things until we launch the hatch. Please, please. Let's get this thing out. Let's get this thing out.
Yeah, I would say similar. I mean, tech tokens will be transferable, so you could just wait until they're tech tokens in the end. And I don't think it would make sense to transfer impact hours. I think, Tam, you said they represent the work done by a person, by an identity. I don't think it makes sense to transfer them. And I agree with Griff. Yeah, let's freeze all this, because lots can be done retroactively. I mean, if there's some sort of adjustments that need to be made even long after this, like Dandelion DAO is God mode, right? So we can always things can be voted on after launch. And so yeah, just wanted to say that.
Yeah, and I'm just also going to clarify, it was Griff who presented the convincing argument of it actually being attributed to one person, specifically for the work that they did. I was also open to the idea of allowing people to transfer, at least seemed like, as long as it was easy enough, it's like, okay, we're talking about the master spreadsheet being the single source of truth, and if we just add two cells together and that's it, then maybe it's not such a bad idea. But I am actually convinced that we are rewarding specific individuals for specific contributions, and those are the people we want in the TEC, and maybe it is not within our scope to transfer those.
Tamara, is this something I can make a comment on, or okay? The only context I was thinking about that this could be interesting to look at is in the discussion of distribution of impact hours. For example, I had an idea of gifting that I wanted to bring up. And this could be an instance where maybe we hold a vote on whether or not to intervene and people vote not to intervene, but I want to gift hours of my own to others who I feel have put in work that wasn't recognized. So for me, I think that would be a case where I would be in favor of transferring IH if I wanted to gift to somebody who I saw in the ecosystem who was maybe not praised as much. That would be something I would like to see. But again, I guess it's kind of pending the outcome of that discussion, but that's one use case I would see in favor of transferring is a gift.
Yeah, it's curious because me and Sam were having a similar chat on the, like when you are redistributing impact hours, like it's not a voluntary thing by the individuals, and we were also thinking like, what about like, I mean, I also feel like there's people like, especially like paid people, like it would be nice like to have more impact hours, and we also were thinking like this would be like super cool, and it would be like, like the ultimate praise where, I give, we give our own impact hours, and it would be like super cultural. And I think that would be super cool, but yeah, just wanted to say that we were chatting about that too.
I highly disagree. I think if I wanted to give all my impact hours over to Zepti, I think it would be a significant problem for the community, just because it has governance impact, not just the monetary aspect, but governance power over to somebody without the intervention, and you kind of open Pandora's box when you do that. I agree with YGG. It's supposed to be a representation of the work that is being done, the praise that you received, and the impact hours that have been perceived as subjective matter by the community. And I know that, with Will Ruddick, who I think he was the person who made the request with Blair at Grassroots, I don't think he has that many impact hours in general, and I think it was kind of said on the off the cuff. It seems like, but I just don't know if that's a good idea at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, the circumstances of why he asked this, as the text message explains itself, is that he lacks time to participate, and he wants to delegate this in order to sort of give value to the praise he was given, so he can sort of follow it up to someone else who can also acknowledge this. But I think, as Jessica mentioned, this is a very user case specific circumstances, where if we find eventually a user case that is relevant enough to make this, I will probably put it to proposal and voting to the community or to whoever we want this, but not necessarily something that will be the norm. I don't think this will be a norm. I don't think it's fine. I take Griff word on it, on his explanation about identity and so on, and I think it's completely valid. But I will not count out some user cases like Jessica mentioned that could be nice to implement eventually. But as it is now, I don't see it either. That's it.
So, yeah, interestingly, it seems like we are very divided on this. Livia, do you want to suggest how we resolve this?
I was convinced that it would be a lot of work, that we don't need to add more work. There's just one thing that I think of, like, if someone is openly saying they won't participate, there is the danger of having a lot of people that have impact hours and don't want to participate. But I think we do have a quorum that is big enough to not make that an issue. And like you guys said, it can be like TEC tokens will be liquid after, so that this could be solved in the future.
And I just want to say, you know, if you want to dish impact hours to people, we have a praise system. It works. You give them praise. And if you really care, praise system is run by Duocracy. Come and quantify. Come quantify. Pump the people that you think should deserve the impact hours. And it happens. You know, like this is a subjective distribution that we do every 2 weeks. We have one on Saturday. It's 6 a.m. my time in Costa Rica. That's like Denver time. I don't know what time that is for everyone else, but we do it every 2 weeks, and it's a duocratic process, and it works. So we can give impact hours to anyone we want. We just we don't need to add new processes, please. We just need to launch this thing.
Cool. In conclusion, then, Will, the answer to Will is that it's not within our scope at this time. And then if it's some kind of intervention that we want to propose and vote on as a community, then that's still open. But for now, it's not within our scope. Does that sound good, Eduardo? Can
yes, I will share that with him. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it to us. All right, Nate, spotlight for tomorrow.
Yes, we have Marco has introduced us to Nicola, who's going to be presenting Bonzier, a Bezier curves that he's working on in terms of bonding curves. So it'll be an interesting project. I think this is a really good opportunity because he is new. He is looking for advice and feedback on his project, and I think this is a good opportunity for the proposal outreach team to actually walk him through an advice process to show him what the process is in terms of searching for funding, what are the next steps to do, and how we work with projects that are new and just starting out. And so, yeah, I don't know if Eduardo and Tam, if you guys want to sync on this before tomorrow, I'd be willing to participate in that process. So, yeah, it's really exciting. So thank you, Marco, for introducing.
So interestingly, the proposals part of Hatch Outreach has really merged into something new, which is going to be the sort of the TEC Scouts, which Chewy's proposed, which will be sort of incubated underneath communications and Hatch Outreach. And their kickoff meeting is tomorrow. But I don't think that should stop us from helping advise how to set up a proposal, share information about the TEC and all of this. I guess I just wonder whether Livia, I don't know if you want to help help this group submit a proposal. I don't know if you have the bandwidth for that.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can use this as a way for the TEC scouts to get started.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that. I mean, we can add it to the agenda tomorrow, and then after the presentation, we can reach them out and see what it takes from there.
Yeah, it could be the first one that they work with. Cool. Okay, Livia, is there anything you wanted to add?
I think that sounds good. And just as like we talked a few times, I think it's a good it's good to tell projects that we didn't launch yet, you know. Like that's an important part of communicating about proposals, because I feel like in the past some expectations were raised and yeah, it's just like we have this process until we actually have money. If we have money, I mean everything points to that direction, but it's just good to give a warning.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks. That was a very good suggestion, Eduardo. Okay, so bi-weekly blog post is coming out, well, this weekend, or Katie will be drafting it this weekend. So candidates for what should go into the blog post, the next blog post. I might propose introducing
maybe?
labs. Sorry?
How to get grab TechZai could be good timing.
It would be pretty amazing to have something about how we're going to decide the praise, like the results of the praise analysis, or like how to propose change. Here's the data, and this is how you can propose request a change, or something along those lines. I don't know if it'll be up by Monday or Tuesday next week, but
that's a good point. Okay, Monday, Tuesday next week. So I would like to have a forum post that summarizes the praise research that's been happening, and so kind of working. I've been having conversations with Livy about this sort of handoff from like labs to SoftGov, of like, okay, here's all the research that we've done and the insights and some sort of proto proposals that we have in mind, and then hand that off to SoftGov to move that into actual proposals. Also, Jeff Emmett just messaged me this morning asking to help out with a proposal on the intervention thing, like if we're going to do UBI or something like that. So I think I'd personally just like to take responsibility to simplify this and put it into a forum post that like summarizes the highest levels of what we're thinking and just points to some of the research points. And then that will be like the handoff point for SoftGov, and that could probably make it into the blog post for next week.
I'm also writing a post right now, and I drew out a sketch of how we could run a voting process anyway, I took a picture of it and I'm going to post on the forum, but I think there's some discussion to be had about the decision space. So I was thinking, Sean, if you're doing like a summary, I was suggesting maybe like we schedule a larger advertised meeting with more stakeholders to have a discussion and talk about the decision space and a process by which to look at.
I would love to do it this Sunday, just like we've done in the past. So maybe we throw that on the calendar.
I was hoping for not Sunday, and was also talking with a few people in the community who would like to participate. And so I was thinking maybe in the regular SoftGov meeting next Tuesday, and/or at a time that's more friendly to Europe, though, because that's later.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the SoftGov on Tuesday.
Yeah, we also had some discussions in SoftGov this Tuesday, and I drafted a possible approach from the conversations with YGG of what would be like 3 proposals that we could have, and then from the conversations, another question raised, that is, should we look into retroactive data or should the proposals acknowledge retroactive data or just future data? And I think we'll end up having both proposals anyways, but it would be great to move on with that conversation through advice process. And then we have like written information for people to make sense of things and arrive in this meeting with more of a grounding, because then we can move forward faster by hearing everyone and having some of the like important points sketched out already.
Livy, are you available to hop in on Sunday you and I can hash some of this out and figure out what we want to put out and be prepared for Tuesday?
Yep, that sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So the summary of praise research is a great. Sorry, I don't want to cut that conversation off. Should we move back to the blog post, or is there more that we should talk about?
I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay, I think so too. Okay, so then for Katie to write the blog post, it's the summary of praise research, maybe introducing the labs, like sort of a spotlight on labs working group, and sort of like an invitation to join. How to get wrapped XDI is whose forum post is that? I mean, it's a Mitch forum post, right?
I would say also that it would be good to say that we are planning to go to the ethCC so that people know that we're going, and also we can like connect to other communities. Today I saw this Twitter from Federico from Kleros, and he said that they are looking to do a hackathon in July. So if there is other teams that would like to be there or to co-host, it would be interesting. And also the Gitcoin round 10.
Do we have anything for that yet?
Well, I don't know if we have something, but the round started today.
Yes.
Honestly, oh, go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, it's up. I honestly didn't do much polishing. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I just made a quick update, but it's up, and I'm actually in the process of putting it on CV Common Stack right now as well.
And yeah, I can say from Common Stack ecosystem side, I just onboarded Peter to project manage the Gitcoin fundraising, which we've been doing for the last round. So we always include TEC and all of the tweet threads and promotions, and we'll have like a special day as well where we promote just it. So it's at least from advertising perspective on the schedule. So I guess I can ask Peter to also share any particular tweets or anything that he would like in the TE Commons channel so that everyone can have a look and help to promote it.
This is off topic, but is it okay, Tam?
Yeah, let's go.
I
mean, are we totally changing the subject?
So not totally, but it's a tangent off the Gitcoin. So I have the Gitcoin money just goes to a wallet I control. Okay, let's just throw that out there first. Other thing is that we have this TEC Paris event, and maybe should we consider using some of that money to use for TEC Commons expenses for our presence at that event? Maybe subsidize everyone's like flights or something, or try to like get a Airbnb that we use as a gathering house and use some of these funds for that. I don't know. It's a thought.
One question I wanted to bring. I was checking the CC webpage and it seems to be sold out. I couldn't even get a ticket. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
That is tough.
I bought mine last week, but I am going to check
Oh, now I'm worried for Sam. I'm not sure about that.
I didn't even know about it until this morning.
Because if you volunteer, there's a chance that you might be able to get in. That's the only way it seems to be open yet.
I applied to volunteer probably a month ago and haven't heard back, so I don't even know if that's possible.
Going back to the blog post, I think it would be super cool, like if we could get more engagement, especially on a philosophical side on the credential management. I was talking with Sebnem, and yeah, she told me like it would be super cool if we could have engagement outside from the community, because like we need more engagement. This is a deep question, and it would be cool. Like she was mentioning Gnosis, and yeah, I don't know, like make sure like people get some engagement on that, because I think it would be super interesting.
Quick question: where do you saw the sold out? Because when I say buy ticket, it doesn't forbid me to buy a ticket.
If you scroll down, it does. I checked just now too. That is super unfortunate, and yeah, I don't know what recourse we can do if it is sold out. Back to the original question about using funds then, I think that maybe we put it to a vote on the forum, and it seems very, very reasonable to do, and probably most people would agree. But there may be some dissenting opinions, and we should give them a chance to voice that. Cool. Yeah, it's a great idea, Greg.
Cool.
Okay, we have a ton of stuff.
I'll make a more formal proposal with some actual, like, oh, we would spend the money on this ideas, but probably not for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's anyone who thinks it's a terrible idea. So sounds like it's gonna be well received. So we have a ton of stuff. Okay, Katie, not everything has to go in, of course. Maybe we can prioritize it async. Christopher just joined us. Welcome, Christopher. He wants to share the work that's based on T. Wells on onboarding for the Commons Forum, is doing something similar for the TEC, and he and Chewy and a lot of people, Katie and Marco and a lot of people have been working on this, and Christopher wants to share it. So we have a few minutes.
Cool. Hi, everyone. I'll share my screen for this. So now that should be shared. Basically, this is an idea that came up when he sent me the designs for the working groups page that I was going to help everyone build. So this is the first page for working groups, a listing of all the working groups with a short description of each working group on Hover. And then the idea was that you click in on each working group, and there you can find some more information, including like a sort of a news feed of the latest work group updates from the forum. But if you look at the forum, it turns out there is no updates on the forum from the working groups, because there is only like one post per working group. So that idea is not achievable just now. And so basically what I'm saying here is that we can achieve it if we restructure the forum a little bit. And I think it's a really good idea to use the forum as a content hub for this kind of information for various reasons. And one big organization that has worked in this way for a number of years is WordPress, another distributed organization. And like this is the make WordPress.org page, where they list all their working groups in a similar fashion, with a short description of each working group. And when you click in on each working group, you end up in something that looks like a blog feed. It's a feed that shows the latest activity within the group, like meeting agendas, meeting notes, and sort of that gives you a timeline of the activity within the working group, along with some basic information about like where you can find the most important working documents or when the next upcoming meeting is and so on. So basically it's a blog feed, and they have two static or two blocks of text that they can configure for each working group. And this is, as I understood it, apart from Slack, this is their main tool for synchronization within their working groups, and they can tag each other and do all the kinds of stuff in the comments and so on. I've tried this out before. This is a project I worked with last year. It has to work with the local food cooperatives in Sweden. So on the front page here, there is a blog, like a short blog format, and this content, as well as this map of small-scale food cooperatives. And this blog, it all comes from the discourse forum for this project. So this post is the topmost post here. So basically what I'm proposing is that I've butchered this design and just added some text on top of it, like for the working group updates. My proposal is to add under the working groups category in the forum, we add a subcategory for each working group, and within that subcategory, all posts that are made there are published on that working group's page on the TEC Commons webpage. And here's the pitch. I think it would lead to increased transparency, because it helps it becomes much more easy to find information than to have to look for that one of those Google Docs that are flying around. It would mean increased usage of the forum, because the responsibility would fall on the shoulders mostly of the stewards to, of course, publish meeting agendas before meetings, and maybe a short meeting notes after the meetings, and maybe even like a weekly roundup. This is what happened this week. It would mean, I think, increased engagement with the TE Commons, because it would be easier to find where to engage, where you have everything all clearly laid out. I think it would save time, because we have one central point to find stuff instead of searching through these Google Docs. You know that agendas and meeting notes mostly are in to be found in the forum. And there was one more really good point that came up yesterday. I don't remember it just now. And I think discourse in itself is a super interesting tool to use as a content hub. We use GitHub for much information as content hub, but discourse displays some of the similar qualities, but it's self-hosted. It doesn't use as complicated terminology as GitHub for non-programmers. And so it could also be used for other purposes as well. We could easily imagine a situation where the token, something similar to token log, is instead of voting on GitHub issues, you can vote on forum posts, and then we have with added benefits of we can do discussions as we are used to in the comments, etc. So this is,
I think this is a great idea. I think this is a really nice flow. I guess we probably just need to define it for individual use cases. Like, for instance, legal has, very little updates. What happened, and maybe transparency as well. They do it every 2-week meetings at this point? So like maybe their flow would be once every 2 weeks. And I also think it kind of goes well with like what we're really using for this purpose now is the TEC agenda, like for the community calls. So maybe tying that in somehow, or just like making that part of the flow, make the forum post and put it in the community call or something like that as a mutual accountability method, just where it's like, hey, you can see our updates on the forum, and then we can also be driving people to the forum. But I like this flow. Sorry, Tam, did you have something to add too?
I was just going to see if there's anyone else wants to chime in, but I see that Chewy has unmuted.
Sorry, I see that we have a little time left, but yeah, that's okay. I just wanted to compliment it. The purpose of the forum post would be that Steward, their working group, take the agenda and use it use it as a draft, kind of to post actual updates in the forum post. So this is the way of turning the agenda for to a more efficient platform. Yes, this is the purpose of just reaching out with the instead of it being like an inner document. Sorry about that.
Yeah, mostly it would be a cut and paste thing. So cutting from the agendas that we already have and pasting them. Yeah, so to create this timeline.
I really like the idea of there being more optionality for the working groups to sort of use what makes sense, their forum post that makes sense for each individual working group, whether it might agenda or some other forum post. I don't know that I would want to get hung up on it being the agenda for all working groups. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. And the other thing I want to say is, I know it sounds easy to just copy and paste and drop it in the forum and it's done, but the amount of times it won't get done is probably going to be high, because it's just adding one more thing to do, even though it sounds so easy. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get locked on that. I'd like to make sure there's options available to each of the working groups to use the forum posts that make the most sense for that working group.
I actually think it's.
I think Olivia mentioned yesterday on the call. Sorry, Olivia mentioned yesterday on the call that it would be easy for us to move to the forum for the agenda, like preparing the agenda as we do, but we lose the multiple working in the same document that we have with Google Docs, and that's actually a really nice perk of using Google Docs, that we can all collaborate in the same agenda, and that is not something that I think we should sacrifice in order to put the agenda in the forum. Sorry, Zeb, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry for interrupt. Yeah, what after yesterday discussion on this same topic, I think we work on the agenda as normally, but then we just post the agenda on the forum. And if you think that would be a process that would be too hard, I think transparency could even take it. And if someone is not doing, we just make sure it's done. I don't think it's a big deal. I think we could make it.
So I just want to play a little devil's advocate here. Using the forum for this purpose and translating this onto the website, I think that if you open it to the forum, then you're opening it to anybody who wants to post anything that can be then translated to our website, which I don't think is very useful. I think it could be a good tool for engagement, but I think the website should be used for informational purposes. So if we did go this route, I would probably suggest that we use it for the agenda and any type of announcements for each working group, rather than just kind of anybody can post anything within that forum, because I can see a lot of different forum posts being put up there that don't really, it may be decent for engagement, but I think the utility of it is for information gathering.
Yeah, just to quickly respond to that, like Tam said, it's important to give each working group a chance to modify how they use it for their purposes. So it's not like a fixed template that this is how you must use it. And secondly, then of course you can control it within the discourse to, for instance, just give stewards the permissions to post in that category, and if you want to control it more. Yeah, but this was the idea at least, and I don't know what would be the next step to marinate on this a bit and sort of prioritize and see if this is something we would like to do. I don't think it's not a huge thing to implement.
I'd love to hear Katie's, if you can, thoughts about using, I mean, the way it lays out for orientation, because it's something that we are missing right now. Like, hey, what are all the working groups? How is this structured? So I don't know if you have some feedback you want to share, Katie. Okay. Indisposed. Well, we have 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry. I think Tam froze. Christopher, just answering your question about like how long can we implement this? I would say that as I mentioned, just like with common swarms, we're already doing that in a way. So I would say that as soon as the website is ready, we can start like implementing to see how the API behaves, and yeah, I guess it's a matter of maybe like 1 or 2 weeks to get like everybody synced on how to keep these updates. I also think that what Septi said is very useful. I would just like try to see if there are any like alternatives so that we can edit the agenda. Sometimes the agendas are just like a bunch of notes that are thrown in there. So it would make sense to make this go through like a reviewing process so that these updates are more like understandable for anybody that is out of context. But yeah, like regarding like when to start, I would just say that as soon as the website is ready, we can start trying it with the common swarm updates.
Cool. Sorry, I got disconnected there. Cool. Well, we're at the top of the hour. So thanks for this meeting, everyone, and see you at the next one.